It's creamy. This is a very sweet, fleshy, ripe mango. She was in another room, the door was closed, and she could still smell it. This fragrance, as I was saying, it might come as a surprise to you because even if you hate wood, you might still enjoy Impadia. If there's one fragrance that represents summer in every single drop, it's this one. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Giselle, I review perfumes. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I truly hope you enjoy my content. And if you're one of my loyal returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here with me once again. Your support truly means the world to me. So today is about the best fragrances for summer. And of course, this is a subjective topic. What could be the best for me might not be the best for you, but these are the fragrances that, based on performance and scent, I decided to put together into this video and review them for you. So if you're interested in learning more about these fragrances, let's dive in. So the first fragrance on my list today is Delina La Ros. If there's one fragrance that represents summer in every single drop, it's this one. And rosé in French means dewy or dew, not rose as many people think. So in fact, there's nothing rosy here, at least not in a traditional way. This is a very dewy, very watery fragrance. I absolutely love it. I've always said that Delina La Ros deserves a spot on its own. It can definitely stand on its own. I don't know why they decided to do a flanker, probably to capitalize on, on the success of Delina and Delina exclusive. But this fragrance to me has absolutely nothing to do with the other two. There is a very subtle DNA here, but if you imagine this fragrance in a completely different bottle with a completely different color, scent-wise, you will never guess it's a flanker of Delina. So anyway, this perfume is really dewy, as I was saying. Lychee and pear are the most dominant notes, but as the fragrance transitions, you'll start getting more of the peonies and rose. However, as I said before, the rose here is not a rose in the traditional way. It's not a dark or rich rose. This is like a pink rose, very dewy, very soft, very girly. This fragrance, guys, is beautiful. It's not what I would call a groundbreaking fragrance, but who cares? As long as it smells beautiful and it delivers, I'm fine with that. And this fragrance has an extremely long lasting power. Considering its category, this is one of the longest lasting fragrances I have in my collection. Actually, now it belongs to my daughter's collection. But the lasting power of this fragrance, it's really remarkable. After a couple hours, it becomes a skin scent. It doesn't project like crazy. However, it leaves a very beautiful trail. The sillage is very sheer. It's very angelic, very translucent. It is a very, very beautiful scent. Now, even after the fragrance transitions and you'll start getting more of the peonies and the rose, you will still get the lychee and pear. These two notes are the most dominant here, and you will smell that throughout the entire lifetime of the fragrance. Very pretty, it's very youthful. I think it's ageless, but compared to the other two, I would say this is the youngest sister. She's playful, she's girly, she's flirty, she's feminine. Really, really beautiful. It's a simple, easy to wear fragrance, and it layers beautifully both with Delina and Delina exclusive. This was Delina La Ros by Parfums de Marly. The next one on my list might come as a surprise to you, and it is Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, or MFK. So this fragrance, as I was saying, it might come as a surprise to you because it's not a typical summer fragrance. In fact, to me, it smells more like a winter, cold weather type of scent. But in my particular case, when I wear this fragrance during cold weather season, I can smell it, but not just me. No one around me noticed, and the fragrance doesn't project. It's like I'm wasting the fragrance, literally. So one day I decided to test it in the summer, in the middle of the summer. I was on vacation in a tropical place, and I carry a ticket of Baccarat Rouge 540 with me. I remember my daughter was on the other side. She was in another room. The door was closed. and she could still smell it. So after that experience, I started wearing it more during the summer. I know many people have the same situation with Baccarat Rouge 540. Many people say they can smell it, which is normal that we can smell it, but when no one around you notice that, and not because it plays like the hide and seek type of game, right? Like a typical molecular fragrance. It's not because of that. It's because for whatever reason, my skin seems to eat it up. I don't know, but no one can smell it. And you know, it's not that I wear fragrances for other people. I want to be able to smell it myself. But if I don't, at least I would like people to smell it at the very least, right? And this is not the case with Baccarat. With the _Xi'î, it's different, but with the Eau de Parfum, this has been my experience so far. So when I decided to start wearing this perfume during the summer, the experience was completely different, especially under high heat and high humidity conditions. I started smelling the fragrance myself, not just when I spray it. I start smelling the fragrance all the time. During the entire time, the fragrance remains on my skin, and so do people around me. Of course, it has to do with my skin chemistry for sure, but the weather conditions affect how a fragrance performs. And I don't care if a fragrance lasts on clothes. That should never be a parameter, a KPI, like a key performance indicator to determine lasting power. Fragrances will always cling to clothes. They will always cling to porous materials. So when people say such and such fragrance lasts days on my clothes, that doesn't say anything. That doesn't reflect a fragrance real performance. So always spray it on your skin. It doesn't matter if it lasts on clothes or not. At least it doesn't matter to gauge lasting power. That's what I mean. So since I started wearing it in the summer, it became a summer fragrance for me. And that's why I have included it in today's list, in case you had the same experience with Baccarat Rouge 540. It's a beautiful scent. It's a very, very beautiful fragrance. It smells really expensive. And this is the thing with this fragrance. To me, beyond this very particular DNA, which is probably the most cloned fragrance in history, I think what Francis Kurkdjian created here is an experience. I've said it before and I still stick to that. This fragrance gives us an experience. It's more about how it makes us feel rather than the scent itself. Although the scent is beautiful, to me, as you probably know, this perfume is renowned for smelling like burnt sugar or cotton candy. To me, it resembles more burnt sugar, like you would put on top of the creme brulee, for example, rather than cotton candy. To me, I don't get the cotton candy, but I do get the burnt sugar accord. And I love it. It's a beautiful fragrance, smells really expensive. Circling back to what I was saying, Francis Kurkdjian truly created a fragrance that not only is expensive, but it makes us feel expensive. So he created a whole experience, and kudos for that. To me, this is a nighttime scent. I wear it during the summer, but especially for nights out, date nights. And let me tell you something, people will know that you're wearing Baccarat Rouge 540. If you care, I can tell you that most people will recognize this fragrance. I've smelled, out of curiosity, I have smelled the best clones, but no. Sorry, but no. None of the clones, even the ones considered the best, it can be the original. Yeah. I love Baccarat Rouge 540. It's a cult favorite. I think it will become a classic, and there's not much I could say today that hasn't already been said. But this is Baccarat Rouge 540. So the next one on my list is Elysium Pour Femme by Roja. This fragrance is a dream. It's femininity in a bottle. It's really, really gorgeous, ultra feminine, smells sophisticated. However, it's a very easy to wear fragrance. It's very cool, very chill. It's gorgeous. Day or nighttime type of scent. It's a very romantic perfume. It's very sexy, very sensual, very girly, very flirty. It's absolutely stunning, very juicy, very dewy. This fragrance has three very distinctive facets. It has a very fruity, juicy, and bright opening. It then transitions into a floral core, and then it settles into a woody, creamy, soft, fluffy, musky dry down. It doesn't get any better. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think this is a type of floral that it's very safe. Even people who don't enjoy florals, I highly encourage you guys to try it. I find it more fruity than floral, but aside from that, this is not the typical floral you probably have in mind. Of course, you are absolutely entitled to not like florals, of course, but many people who say they don't like florals, what they don't really like is the narcotic type of florals. Because I talked to people who said that they hate florals, for example, or florals don't work for them. But when we play a little bit and I make them test a few fragrances, they were surprised that they were floral perfumes, because again, the type of florals they probably had in mind was the narcotic, headache-inducing, very heady type of scents, right? Now, that's not the type of floral notes you will get here. Here, as I said, it's a very dewy, very watery type of scent. There's nothing narcotic here, nothing headache-inducing. Very fruity, very juicy, and floral. But the flowers here are very sheer, very translucent, very airy, very fluffy. And there's nothing narcotic, nothing indolic, nothing old school, nothing vintage, nothing like that. This is a very, very modern type of fruity floral. It's a very cozy type of scent. It's not cozy in the sense that you will feel wrapped in a cashmere scarf, not like what cashmere would do or musk will give you. Although the dry down is musky, but it's more the cottony, fluffy musky rather than the enveloping type of musk. So yes, it is very cozy because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel at ease, super chill, super laid back, but not in the sense of feeling wrapped, if it makes sense. I absolutely love this fragrance. I can't get enough. Guys, if you haven't tried this fragrance yet, you're missing on something very special. Elysium Pour Femme by Roja. The next one on my list is a fragrance I recently talked about it, but I could not include it in this list, which is Mango Kiss. Actually, the full name is Soleil de Jeddah Mango Kiss, and it's by Stefano Belluca. So what we have here is the most decadent mango fragrance. It's so yummy. It's creamy, but it's also very sweet. This is a very sweet, fleshy, ripe mango. So delicious. It's so good. It's a very solar type of scent. This reminds me of the summer, like 100%. In fact, when I reviewed this fragrance in one of my previous videos, I posted a picture about a sunset in Hawaii. Actually, it's this one. Let me tell you, I've never seen a sunset like that before, ever. And I remember I was wearing this fragrance, so every time I wear it, of course, that sunset comes to mind. And it's just stunning. It's so beautiful. Sunset aside, this fragrance smells like summer. Even the bottle, the color of the bottle reminds me of a sunset with that coppery, orangey type of gold color. It's just stunning. It truly deserves every single positive review it received since it was launched. It really deserves the hype. You know, I love God of Fire. I still prefer God of Fire. I find God of Fire more sophisticated than this one. Although Mango Kiss is very elegant and very sophisticated, I still prefer God of Fire. I haven't included today because I'm going to include it in another video soon. But it also deserves an honorable mention because it 100% deserves a place here as one of the best fragrances for summer. Stunning perfume. It's ultra luxurious, smells very luxurious. It's very unique. There's nothing on the market that smells like this. Even God of Fire, which was launched before by the same house, it's a completely different take on the mango note. It is a mango scent, but it smells completely different. It's a completely different take. Now, this perfume lasts all day, and when I tell you all day, I mean it. It lasts all day in the most literal way, and sometimes even after the shower, I can't get rid of this fragrance. So keep that in mind, because if you're like me and you like to play with fragrances and spray different perfumes throughout the day, be mindful, because if you spray this one first, you're done for the day. You won't be able to enjoy the other fragrances. And on top of that, this perfume has such a strong presence and has such a strong DNA that it doesn't pair well with anything. And honestly, it doesn't need anything else. It's just too much. It's just too much. It doesn't need anything else, and you will be, doing a disservice to this beautiful scent by layering with something else. So leave it alone enjoy it alone. It's a gem. Soleil de Jada Mango Kiss. So the next one, guys, is a very solid new release, and it is Impadia by BDK Perfumes. This is a very modern, contemporary rose fragrance, completely ageless. It's created by one of my favorite perfumers of all time, Jordi Fernandez. This perfume is so stunning. Even the bottle is so stunning. Look at this. And if I'm not mistaken, the inspiration behind this beautiful gradient is the transition between morning and dusk in Paris. So gorgeous. So the opening is very floral. It's right here. Oh my goodness. So the opening is very floral, very citrusy, extremely juicy. This is a very photorealistic pear, very juicy. To me, this is like a very ripe barley type of pear, very juicy, very fleshy. And let me tell you something. I know I'm going against the grain here, but I like to give you always my honest opinion. Everybody compares this fragrance with Guidance and Delina. In my humble opinion, zero resemblance to Delina. It's feminine, it's rosy. Yes, if you want to talk about scent profile, yeah, maybe. But scent-wise, don't buy this fragrance thinking you're buying the next Delina, because if that's your goal, you'll probably be disappointed because the resemblance, again, it's zero. If we talk about Guidance, I don't find them similar, but I can understand where the comparison comes from. You know what I mean? But I can get where people are coming from when they say it reminds them of Guidance. However, as I said, I'm gonna go against the grain here, but to me, this perfume is a flanker of Tabac Rose, also from BDK, minus the dark chocolate note. The notes are completely different. If you have Tabac Rose in your collection, and if you have here, please do me a favor and compare them side by side and let it dry down. In the dry down, they are extremely similar. In the opening, I can smell Tabac Rose DNA, although it's not really similar. It's not. Even in the dry down, it's not something like I would say I can't tell them apart. No, not to that level. But if I have to compare this fragrance to something, 100%, hands down, to me, it's a flanker of Tabac Rose, as I was saying. Nothing to do with Delina and nothing to do with Guidance. Now, with Tabac Rose, I do see similarities, and this one doesn't have the gourmand component that Tabac Rose has, which is dark chocolate, right? This one doesn't have that. This is juicy, it has a pear note, but you will be surprised because sometimes two fragrances have completely different notes and they still smell very similar. I'm not saying this is 100% the case because I can't say they are really similar fragrances, but again, if I have to compare this fragrance to something, I would say Tabac Rose. So guys, if you have Tabac Rose, please do me a favor and compare them side by side. The similarities, as I said, are more in the dry down, not necessarily in the opening, but there are a lot of similarities. And regardless, this is a stunning perfume. I absolutely love it. I can totally see Impadia becoming their bestseller, at least in 2025. It's beautiful, it's ageless. There's a lot of rose here, but even if you don't like rose fragrances, try Impadia because it's a completely different take. This is a very contemporary rose. It's not a gothic or dark or old-fashioned type of rose, nothing like that. This is a very fresh, very juicy, very bright and very creamy type of rose. It's a really creamy scent. It has sandalwood, probably that's where the creaminess is coming from. The dry down is woodsy. It's where you will get more of the sandalwood, but also more of the creaminess. Although you can smell the creaminess since the start, it's like a mixture of juicy, fruity, woodsy, creamy notes right in the opening. Although the juicy, fruity, and floral aspect is the most dominant. So projection is out of this world. This fragrance projects like crazy. It leaves a very dense sillage. I think this is a great fragrance for summer, but be mindful if you don't want to choke people around because it's a very, very strong perfume. It's very feminine, but it's very, very strong. I love the dry down. To me, it's magical because it becomes a powdery, feminine, woodsy rose. And this perfume has a synthetic note called Akigala wood. Akigala wood, it's not oud. It's completely different. So even if you don't like oud, try this perfume, because 𝘿𝙭 wood is a synthetic note. As I was saying, it's created using biotechnology from patchouli. So the origin is actually patchouli, not real wood. Now, it doesn't smell like patchouli because in fact 𝘿𝙭 wood is used to mimic in a way the scent that oud has. The difference is that real oud is way stronger. It can be animalic sometimes. It's very rich, it's very resinous, and there's nothing like that here. There's only a very subtle smoky woodiness in the dry down, but very, very subtle. And even if you don't like oud, even if you hate oud, you may still enjoy Impadia. It's a stunning perfume. Very, very beautiful, super versatile, dress up or dress down type of thing. You can wear it with jeans and a white t-shirt, or you can wear it with a nightgown. You can't go wrong with Impadia. If you'd like to hear more about this fragrance in particular, I can do a dedicated video. Just let me know in the comments below so I can go more in depth. But at least I wanted to give you a brief overview, and I hope it's enough for you to have an idea of how this fragrance smells. So, Impadia by 𝑘. It's so gorgeous. The next fragrance on my list is Pink Flamingos by Prada Olfactories. Prada Olfactories is like the private line or private blend, the more elevated or the more expensive line of Prada, like the more niche, so to speak. And it's basically an iris and cherry fragrance. It's so stunning, you guys. It's so unique. So unique. It's one of the most unique fragrances I have in my entire collection. If we talk about uniqueness, this fragrance, I would say, is among my top 5. It's very translucent, very sheer, very airy, very fluffy. It has like an angelic component that makes it extremely feminine. It's very dewy as well. The cherry here, it's to me, it's more like cherry blossom than cherry. Although the note here appears to be cherry, to me it's more like cherry blossom because it's more floral than fruity. It's more fluffy and airy than the fruit note. Fruit note, which tends to be darker and richer. It's a stunner. Very feminine. It's slightly powdery. I always say that Pink Flamingos is the color of baby pink. So if baby pink had a scent, it will smell like Pink Flamingos. Even the color is like baby pink. It's so stunning. And let me tell you, this perfume has been sold out for over a year or a year and a half. And when they bring it back, when they restock, they only bring a few bottles. And right now, the only place where I saw it is on Selfridges. I have linked it down below in case you want to buy it, because once it's gone, it's gone. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to restock. I think as of yet, they have 2 or 3 bottles available. And I can tell you that this one and Cargo de Nuit sell like cotton candy. So if you are interested in this fragrance, you better get yours before it's gone. Now, it's a very mass appealing fragrance, very inoffensive. It's very soft. It's a skin scent. Now, it's very long lasting, and that came as a surprise to me because when you smell it, you don't really think this is the type of scent that will last for so long. The warmer the weather, the longer it lasts, and it leaves a very, very beautiful sillage that lingers in the air for hours. It's a day or nighttime type of scent. My husband loves it. I always wear it during the summer for day nights with him. He really loves this fragrance. He finds it very feminine, very beautiful, and he's not wrong. So if you like this type of soft skin scents with personality that last long, but they are not obnoxious, they are always with you, they keep you company, but they won't be obnoxious, very mass appealing, very safe. You can wear this to work. Although to me, this, in my case, this is a fragrance that I keep for special occasions, but of course you can wear it to work. I think it's really very sophisticated. I wouldn't wear this to the office, but it's completely up to you. I think it definitely deserves a spot in the special occasions tray. So as I was saying, if you like this type of ultra feminine soft skin scents that last, mass appealing, safe, ultra feminine, sophisticated, super clean, this fragrance smells very clean. If this is your vibe, I think you should definitely get this one. Guys, this wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more videos about summer fragrances. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.